Hey, great topic today about when you're living with someone, married, whatever, and you're dealing with a spouse when you're going through the midlife change. And I put menopause, but really the biggest changes are when you're in perimenopause. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. I was with someone. I met him when I was in really good shape. I was in really good shape and I was super fit and everything was great, right? Like I was happy, I was healthy. There was nothing wrong. We had lots of fun, and we were living together. And then I began to go through perimenopause and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I just began to have things like, they'd hit the emotional things hit first and the mind things like the memory problems, the brain fog, the emotional ups and downs. Felt like I was like, now that I think about it, it was so much more like adolescence or being pregnant when you're like really teary, really cry and kind of bitchy on and off and PMS lasting forever. So things like that. And it was like, whoa, right? Because, I was one way. We were together and I was one way. Then all of a sudden, here I am acting in a different way, right? It shocks them. Well, they don't know. But then if we're not sure what we're going through, that's pretty bad too. And they're like, oh my God, well, what's wrong with you? Just chill, and then that just irritates you even more, right? It's like, I can't, I'm trying to be, and then and it just gets back and forth, because you're more irritated, more triggered, then they get triggered, and then that whole thing can happen back and forth. Woo, that can be crazy. Let me know if you guys are with someone and if you experienced that. But when you're going through it, like really, it just took me, I finally learned what I was going through. My doctor said I was perfectly healthy, too young for menopause, but when I looked more into the symptoms I was having, like it got into be the digestive problems and, more of the physical symptoms then too. Then I read, oh my God, and I'm like, I'm so young, how is this possible? So then I because I'm someone who loves to learn, I just started talking to my boyfriend about it all. And not that he really even cared. I'm like, you got to know, right? Like to me, it's like, I think the more information, the best, right? When they know what you're going through, that's the best you can do, is let them know what you're going through. And they're, of course, going to wonder, oh my God, what does that mean you're changing? Who are you going to change into? How long is this change going to last? You don't even know those answers, right? I think their fear too is like, are you going to change and be a different person? Like, am I going to have someone different? And especially when women are gaining weight, right? It's like, oh my God, well, you were this way now. Why are you all of a sudden this way when we still eat the same things? And then what if you want to change what you eat, which is what I help women with, right? So when they bring it into their home, when they're trying to change what they eat so that they can stop the weight gain, lose the weight, then, of course, the family's there going, I don't want to eat this stuff. Like, what is it? And my boyfriend was like that, too. He was like, I don't know. Like, what is that? I did not try to change him. At first, I was a little but no. So just let them do what they want to do with the food. And you start and take care of you, right? That's really the main message, is keep the communication open. Talk to them. Remember, they're not sure what you're going through. Give them some information, at least. This is a change. I'm going to take really good care of myself. There's some things I can do so that this will get better and it's going to end, and on and on and on like that. So just be really open is my best thing. Really let them talk and express themselves and know that they're probably just a little scared because they're uncertain of what you're going to be or what you're going to change into. And they see you changing and they feel helpless. And I think that's the big thing too. When anybody's, in pain, we want to help them. But we don't know how to help them. And when you feel helpless yourself, that's what's really hard. So there's that aspect playing in it too, right? But you got to just start taking better care of you. And you got to know that, okay, if I'm dealing with some of these emotional symptoms, then that means that I'm going to learn some ways, tools, techniques, coping mechanisms to help myself through these things, right? Because you can say like, well, this is affecting our relationship. We need to see someone or we need to whatever, but that may be true. But you also got to go back and each person work on themselves, let's say. But you can't force someone to work on themselves. So the best thing you can do is work on you, right? Work on you. That's the best thing. Because if you're still going through the crazy ups and downs, anxiety, stress, and you're not learning to manage it or cope with it, that will continue to affect the relationship, right? That will. And if you continue to have, let's say, weight gain that's really bothering yourself and that's making your self-esteem low, and then you're really distancing yourself from your partner, and then they're feeling really rejected, that's going to affect the relationship, right? So just kind of being in the dumps about those things and not really taking the right action is going to not make things better, right? So it is a time of change, and it just calls us to make changes and learn and do the things that we have to do to make ourselves better, right? To bring our body back into a little better balance and to take the best care of us, because that's what this phase is about. And when you begin to do that and your body comes into better balance, then everything tends to level off a little bit, right? And the perimenopause phase is different for everybody, but some people it's really crazy. Others, they don't notice it as much. And if you work on the right aspects, like the food, the stress reduction, and thinking about the mindset and all that, then that also manages it much better. So you seem to go through it better and faster. And when you get to the other side, menopause, right, you're like, then everything just seems so much better, right? Now, of course, there's supplements you can take for your mood swings and for anxiety. There's formulations you can get at health food stores. Really hard online, you guys, because there's just too many companies that are selling stuff that we don't even know what's in it, right? So I would go to a really good health food store and say, I'm going through this phase of life. I'm dealing with these symptoms, and I would love, what supplement formulation can you recommend to me for these symptoms? And you may have to get a couple. So that's something to do for, to handle some of the emotional and the stress, stuff like that. There's definitely things now. There's a website called hormonesbalance.com. That is US though, US. Hormonesbalance.com. She makes her own supplements, highly recommend. So you could go and order from her if you don't have a health food store, if you're in the US. If you're in Canada and you want to order, just message me, because it's Dr. Lorna Vanderhaeg, and I'm not going to spell it. Anyways, there are lots of supplement formulations now. Thank God there's so much more than when I was going through it. There's so much available for you women right now that it is amazing. You have all the tools, all of them. You have coaches like me who help you through it. I never had that. I had to research, study, spend hours and hours and hours trying to figure everything out for myself. Then it took me how long to get the way of eating right? Oh my God, figure that out, and all the cost and all that. So you can hire me and get something, and like actually I have a one-on-one deal right now for 4 weeks, one-on-one with me starting right now. So we'll go through this summer, have way more freedom this summer, way more food freedom, way more just freedom in living in the summertime, feeling so much better knowing I now know what to eat. I now can also still go out with girlfriends and with my family and still have some of these other foods, but you actually don't really want those other foods as much because you're not craving them, because you don't have those cravings anymore. Your moods are more balanced. You're not as bloated. Your clothes are fitting better. You're feeling amazing. Your body's beginning to release the weight. You're looking young, more youthful and younger. You're feeling more vibrant. That's such a better way to step into summer. Isn't that a better way to go into the summertime? So that is what's possible. Because when you're on the right track, you get like everything begins to get better fast. You get results fast. When you're just trying bits from here, bits from there, little bits from everywhere, pieces of information, it's just organized chaos. You can't make any sense of it. And you're trying little bits from here and there, but nothing's really seeming to work because not just one thing works, right? All right, reach out to me to me right now for that. Oh my God, I can't speak. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so I was watch from the very beginning if you're just popping on now, but that is my take on going through it with the spouse. It is a tough time. You will get through it. But oh boy, you have to have a lot of patience. They have to have a lot of patience. You have to have open communication. And you truly, truly need to be taking care of yourself and doing things to bring your body back into better balance naturally, because that will help everything. And just a side note, yes, I did take bioidentical hormones, and that I noticed helped with my sex drive. So for these out, but you want to also, if you're going to take bioidentical, you also must be working through with the healthy eating and the stress reduction. Otherwise, they don't work as well. Okay, so I did the healthy eating, got my eating right, my stress reduction, all that. That was all really good. I was feeling great. But I took the bioidentical hormones, and then that helped really bring things up a bit, okay? So much love to you. Have an absolutely amazing evening or day. Bye.